Hello everyone and welcome to Go Local Live. I am arts and entertainment host Ava Gaudette, and I'm just going to jump right into my show here today. As usual, have some pretty awesome guests, so I'm not going to waste any time. Standing here with me is Richard Davia. Hello Richard, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good. He is the artistic director for Revel Fest 18, which is a very cool fundraiser that benefits arts programs here in Rhode Island, and very excited to talk to you about this event. There's so much going on, so many very cool things. But first, tell us a little bit about what Revel Fest is and how you got involved in organizing it.
Sure. Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here. And so Revel Fest started last year, and it was kind of in response to a lot of fundraisers that were going on that I was involved in that were really wonderful and fantastic events, but they were a high ticket price and had a, kind of a typical nice sit-down dinner and entertainment in that vein. I wanted to do something that was a bit more experimental and I guess edgy, if you will, that incorporated arts, but was also very accessible and affordable, really for anybody, and also celebrated the art in its making state, where art is unfolding right in front of your eyes, that focused on music, fashion, product design, and kind of everything that kind of revolves around that. So making art, making music, making fashion in real time is really what this event is all about, at the heart of it all.
See, I told you it was cool. So Revel Fest is a part of the Revel Factory.
That's correct.
Which is a nonprofit organization that is creating arts programs. So tell us a little bit about the programs that they work with.
Sure. So Revel Factory is the nonprofit arm of 1031 Productions, and if you're familiar with 1031 here in Rhode Island, they're most well known for the Living Gargoyle exhibition at Waterfire.
And they've been on the show, we should mention. They had some tree people.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but they were gorgeous and amazing.
They do living art experiences all around the world, really, but they're based right out of here in Rhode Island. As part of their kind of growth, a lot of folks had asked them to donate performances and do all types of philanthropic pieces. So they created a new arm of 1031 called Revel Factory, and that's where I saw an opportunity. I was part of the naming of that space, if you will. It's an art space that's very accessible, and we did our first festival last year, called it Revel Fest, with this idea of bringing the arts community together around music, fashion, product design, all, like I was mentioning earlier, happening in real time, and also very accessible. The tickets are only $20. You can hear about them and all the kind of great artists that are performing in the event at revelfest.com. I actually have
there we go.
a little graphic, so if you see this,
that's us, right?
If you see this around town, I'm doing old school flyering, but we're online, obviously, and on Facebook. So if you search Facebook events for Revel Fest 18, if you just go to revelfest.com, all of the artists' pages are there. There's an artist tab link. There's just 2 or 3 tabs on the site, very simple. Great photos from last year as well. But it'll tell you all about the performances that are happening on the 7th, April 7th, which is a week from this Saturday night at Revel Factory, which is right in the heart of the Arts District in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, right around the corner from the GAM Theater on Roosevelt Street.
Sounds great. There's all the info, so at least we know where we're going. Let's talk a little bit deeper. Let's talk a little bit deeper about what's going to be happening. You said that this is not your average fundraiser. This is definitely more accessible. It's a little edgier. I've noticed that some of the acts that are going to be there are like body painting and circus acts and different types of things that are, one of them was kind of steampunk themed.
Yeah, we had a steampunk exhibition last year, which was quite cool. So this year we're continuing the tradition of keeping it a little dark and a little edgy, and a lot of fun and very interactive. So we're having the night kicks off with the painting of the Revel Goddess, and that is being produced by Art on the Spot, which is also a Rhode Island art company. You'll see them all around circuses and events. I think they're going to be on this show next week, possibly.
Yes.
So we're going to have that exhibition, if you will, come to life while the Revel Goddess is being painted. As people are filtering through the event, we're going to have a full bar available, and we have food as well, kind of at the entry, local couple really amazing vendors. Kent Stetson Handbags are going to be with us in the marketplace kind of launch time around 7 p.m., as well as Thread and Metal, another local vendor. And we have our signature soaps that we make every year.
There we go.
So I have some packaging from last year. So this is made by Earth and Anchor, and they are prepared right here in Rhode Island. And we do a signature soap that's available as a kind of signature gift, if you will. Everything is very accessible and affordable, and proceeds rather go right to the arts programs that are benefited from the overall organization through Revel, specifically the Jacqueline M. Walsh School for Performing Arts and the Mirror Collaborative. So that's where, at the end of the day, all of the kind of program is funding. So it's an art event directed, produced by artists that ultimately benefit young artists in our community.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Tell us about the Mirror Collective that you just brought up. It's a really very, very cool program, unlike anything I had ever heard of. And tell us a little bit about how that works.
And I'll get back to the cool art stuff.
Sorry.
The Mirror Collective is an organization that really brings young artists and pairs them with people in nursing homes here in Rhode Island. And they kind of pair them up and become friends, become buddies. And the young artist is inspired by the story of their new friend's life, or lives that they've lived, and stories that they tell. And they take those stories back and create a piece of art, whether it's music or dance or something dimensional like a sculpture or a painting. And there's a collection of these young artists, and then they bring those artworks back into the nursing home community, and they do a small community show for the residents, for the staff, for the families, and then they do another show in the community as well to kind of just continue the vibe of bridging the gap, if you will, between the youth in our culture and our seniors that are really in their the senior stage of life.
I love that whole concept, and I love that you can go to such a cool event and know that you're benefiting organizations like that one. So we were talking about the art that is being made in real time. Let's get back to that, because it's really cool.
We ended with the Rebel Goddess.
Yes.
So then we're going to have Paul Cote is joining us. He was with us last year, and he is known for doing live abstract expression painting to live music. So that'll be happening again this year. However, Paul's putting a little bit of a unique spin on it, and I won't.
No spoilers.
No spoiler alert on that one. But he is going to be painting a live garment with a model. Wearing the garment that will be later premiered during the fashion show, when we have a fashion show that is being presented by Lights Fashion Philanthropy. There are going to be 3 featured fashion designers that are local to Rhode Island that have amazing, amazing collections. So they'll be walking the runway, and that's all happening to live music. So my band Glamorama is playing during that segment of the show, if you will. So we do a live set of kind of vintage meets contemporary music. I say modern meets contemporary, or modern meets Motown. And it's a very fun act, and that's all going to be happening while the fashion show is happening. ERB, the Extraordinary Rendition Band, will be joining us as well. And got Space Heater and Kurt Fall. They play before us. I know I'm forgetting a few people. Circus Dynamics do a performance as well. So it's really a night of one show after the other. Metamorphosis Dance Company, I can't forget them as well. They're doing a live presentation. Also, last year they actually did a video to an original song that another band, The Sound of Gravity, performed. We performed last year, and they did a really great dance piece on video, and we premiered the video that night too. So it's really a multimedia type of night with film and video and art and fashion and food and drink and a lot of fun.
And everything
Alien
awesome.
TV is joining us as well. He does amazing live projections to live kind of experiences also. So when he interprets our songs via video and kind of makes them come to life as well. So these events happen one after the other, so it's a very fast pace. I'm kind of inspired by South by Southwest. If you're familiar with that, it's a big arts media festival that happens in Austin, Texas, which is a huge, like, 2-week event or so. That's more for profit, where this is a small boutique version of that. That's nonprofit and very philanthropic. Also gives us permission to be kind of fun and edgy, also.
Yeah, you've mentioned. I mean, you just described such a wide range of artistic expression that you are going to be showing at this one event, and you've mentioned that it can only be supported by a community like this one that we happen to have in Rhode Island. So what do you think this says about the kind of creative people we have in our state?
It says a lot, and it's funny. Last year we had a local bookbinder produce a book for us for the first Revel Fest we did. It was just simply called Revel Fest 17. We had an amazing photographer. We had a bunch of photographers there, but John Deputy, who's a local Providence-based photographer, he's Providence-based now, donated a lot of his kind of his artwork that he shot the night of the event. Beautiful photographs. So I felt like I had to do something with that book, and I kind of shopped it around and found a great local bookbinder to kind of support and donate his services to create this amazing book and showcase the art that was happening at the event. And when I brought it to him, that's exactly what he said. The first thing when he saw my comp was, this can only happen in Rhode Island, which is true. There's such a kind of community spirit. Artists here, I think, are very innovative and inventive, and don't take themselves maybe too seriously, and just want to jump in and support each other and have a lot of fun. So I think that's what it's all about here. Last year we also sold out, so we were able to, the Autism Project were our beneficiary for last year. We basically supported a portion of their programs for Camp Wanna Go Again, where they bring expressive art therapies to people that are dealing with autism and kind of live on the autism spectrum. And we were, again, using the making of art by local artists to support an expressive arts program. So it's about making art for art. That's what it's all about. And it's funny, when I tell this story to people, whether it's here in Rhode Island or elsewhere, they would often say that this wouldn't happen where I live, but people in Rhode Island kind of get it. We don't want to get too comfortable. Also, we sold out last year, which was an awesome success, first time out of the gate, but we need your help to help us sell out this year as well. So if you just join us, it's on the 7th. Go to Revelfest, R-E-V, with a V, not a B, revelfest.com. All of the information about the artist, about the event itself, the time, everything you need to know, and ultimately you can get some tickets there too and join us and have a great night.
I mean, it sounds like a great night, and knowing that it is all for a good cause, and it can just do more to support all of this amazing creativity. Quickly before we go, I want to talk a little bit about your band, because I love this show for meeting people like you that make me feel lazy. You're in 2 bands, you've arranged this whole event, you do all these things. So Glamorama is going to be performing.
Yes.
And I
can't wait.
I know. It sounds so, just the name,
yeah.
I can almost picture what the music is like. What is the music like? What can we expect to hear?
All right, well, I can't take full credit for Glamorama. This is a dear friend of mine, Joanna Casino. You may know her from Flip Salon and Apothecary here in Providence. That's her baby. She and I have been dear friends since grade school. She brought this concept to me, I don't know, 6 months or so ago, and said I have this vision to do this really kind of contemporary type of band, but give it an old school vintage twist. And I remember exactly what she said to me. She said, big guitars, big horns, big drums, big vocals. I was like, big guitars, I'm your guy.
Yeah, got that covered.
So we kind of worked on a set list together and started bringing in some other collaborators on the project. And we have a set list that really brings the best of vintage kind of Motown rock and roll and mixes it with contemporary songs. We're kind of calling it like our hip B-sides, and we give it our own little twist. And it's a lot of fun for me, because my passion and what I'm mostly known for as a local musician is for original music. I'm a songwriter, and my band, The Sound of Gravity, has a focus on that. but Glamorama kind of takes me out of my comfort zone and gives me the opportunity to reinterpret these kind of funky tunes that I typically wouldn't be doing in my other music projects. So that's Glamorama in a nutshell. Big guitars, big horns, big drums, big vocals.
Sounds
a lot
so
of fun. Yeah.
And the fashion show will be happening during that moment. So
we do a set of, I'm thinking, maybe between 7 and 10 songs or so toward the end of the night, right before ERB joins. They join us actually for a couple of songs, but during 2 of those songs, we're premiering 3 designers. One of them is Let's Be Real Fashion, and that is by designer Stephanie Raymond. Her work is amazing. And then we have a couple of newcomers. One is Infamous, a local designer here in Providence, and then the third is Art Fashion Honor. So those 3 designers will be walking with what they're calling a micro collection, I think 5 looks each, while we're performing. And I think what better way to kind of marry a band called Glamorama with a fashion show. So
absolutely,
we'll have a lot of fun with it, I'm sure.
Oh, it sounds like so much fun. Of course, you can get all the information at revelfest.com. Also, we will provide information for getting tickets at golocalprov.com. Richard, thank you so much for being here. Oh, we gotta hug it out. We gotta hug it out. Everyone, we hope to see you on April 7th.
See you April 7th.
At Revelfest 18. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We will take a quick pause and I will set up for my next guest. Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Local Live. I'm arts and entertainment host Ava Gaudette. And up next in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I will be talking to this gentleman right here, who you may recognize, musician and actor David Tessier. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Had to have David on the show today because he's presenting a very cool event this weekend. 2 performances only of Jesus Christ Superstar in concert with his band, the All-Star Band of All-Star Stars.
That's correct.
Which I love because it's not braggadocious at all.
No, it's subtle.
Very modest.
Yeah, subtle.
This sounds very exciting. It's a collaboration between your band and Wilbury Theater, where you are a resident actor. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how the collaboration came together.
Between us and Wilbury. Yeah. Well, this is something that myself and my band and many actors we've done a couple times over the past few years, and I thought it would be a good time to do it again. And since I have such a great relationship with Wilbury, with Josh Short, the artistic director, and I love the new space, I brought it to him immediately and said, hey, we're going to do this.
You demanded it.
Are we doing it here?
You didn't ask.
Are we doing it here, or are we doing it somewhere else? That's
right.
What we said. No, Josh was really very, very gracious, and he liked the idea and helped us out. Lets us use anything in the room. You see, it's not too much. We're not using too much. Right. That's about it. That's how it worked out, and it worked out with timing because we're squeezing between 2 of their other performances.
Oh, okay. You know. Yeah, they have a lot going on over there.
Absolutely.
For sure. So it is definitely, I mean, all joking aside, it is all-star cast. I mean, I looked at the cast. They're all people names I recognize. How did the casting come about? Did you have auditions, or did you say, these are the people, this is my dream cast, this is...
Yeah, I've been having auditions my whole life.
Everybody
I meet,
yes,
yeah. I'm always thinking of, it's terrible to say, I'm always thinking how to use people.
At least you can come right out and say it.
And I just know so many talented actors, singers, and musicians. It didn't seem like this would be much of a challenge.
Yeah.
And I mean, outside of the challenges of each individual piece that we all have to do, these folks all just step right up, and I don't see anybody struggling.
Yeah.
In our last cast, in the cast before that, or this one, it is literally an all-star cast. We have guys like Ricardo Pitts-Wiley
Yes.
who have been doing theater in this town as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real honor to have all these folks.
So cool. I love that you guys are doing this in concert. This is the kind of show that it's almost produced equally as a full production as it is in a concert
think so.
version.
Yeah.
What was the decision behind making this a concert and not going full production on it?
I got to say, I don't really look at this really as a concert production. I think that the piece lends itself to being loud, aggressive. I think being able to see the band is just a better backdrop than having a set with the desert in the back.
Right.
You know? I don't need robes and sandals to get into my Jesus Christ Superstar. So to me, this is the production I want to do.
Yeah.
We don't have a cross in this one. I wouldn't have a cross. It's definitely more symbolic. And if you've ever seen any of the pictures of the original Broadway show, it was out there. It was really psychedelic. And the priests had giant shell helmets, and everyone was singing through wired mics that looked like vines. Some of the reviews talked about how it almost looked like they were attached to some kind of creature through these microphones.
Wow.
And I always liked that. I always liked the handheld microphones. I like it to be a rock show.
Yeah.
First and foremost, and then let the story happen, because it's there. It's in the words, it's in the passion, I think, of the melodies.
Yeah, definitely. And you, of course, are going to be in this production. You'll be playing Judas.
I am.
So is this the role that you always, you've done this a few times, is this your role, or do you give yourself the opportunity to be like, today I'm going to be Jesus, tomorrow I'm
going to... well, I've done a couple of productions of this in the past. I played Peter, I played Jesus. I played Jesus almost, and the production got canceled because of rights at one point. No, Judas is a dream role. I don't really see myself ever being cast as it, and I saw this opportunity. I'm sure there are people who are more suited to the role, but I think I do okay. And,
I'm sure it'll be great.
It's I think with my particular role in my band, it seemed to really kind of fit, rather than being the Jesus guy. Our Jesus, a young gentleman, very talented man by the name of Jared Robinson, he's the lead singer of a band called the Crashland Band, who is sort of like our sister band. We share a drummer. And it just made way more sense. He's genius, he has a great voice, and he's gorgeous to look at.
There you go.
I don't want to put my mug in there. That said, I would gladly play any part in the show, and if we were short somebody, I would jump over and do it in a second.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of those shows. It's so iconic, it's so memorable, and still relevant.
Think so?
I think it's a cool coincidence that NBC is putting on this massive live production of Jesus Christ Superstar the weekend after.
No, the same weekend.
Same weekend. Okay. Oh yes, same weekend. What are your thoughts on that cast? We have John Legend, we have Sarah Bareilles. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't know any of those people. I got to be honest. I've heard John Legend sing, and he's fantastic. Sarah Bareilles, I've only just recently heard some of her stuff, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
I hear this guy Victor Dixon, their Judas, is fantastic, but I've never seen his work either. And then we have Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper is gonna be,
And I go, okay, whatever. It is a coincidence, but I don't. It isn't really. Jesus Christ Superstar is often put up around Easter time. And I would be lying to say that our dates were not on purpose. I wanted to do it on Good Friday and the Saturday. It was just a coincidence that this year, Easter is right there on the 1st. So I tried to get the rights, and there wasn't an issue on those dates. And we scooped them up.
That's great. Perfect.
And then they announced the John Legend version, and I went, that can do nothing but help.
Absolutely. Go see this production. Go watch it on TV. Just, So, Wilbury Theater, that you are a resident actor, just announced its upcoming season.
Correct, yeah.
So, as a resident actor, do you know what your involvement will be? Do you get surprised as the season unfolds? How does this work for you?
It's different every season.
Okay.
A couple seasons ago, I knew 6 months ahead.
Right.
I was going to be in something. This past season, no. I got kind of phone calls later on as some people dropped out of some stuff. Pirates of Penzance, which is my next show over there, we start in a couple weeks. That I knew about,
Right.
a couple months back, but this season's been announced. I don't know.
see.
Don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely known for putting on some amazing productions,
They
so
are.
I'm sure.
And we, as resident artists, have always been with Josh. You cast who you need.
Right.
We don't demand a role every season. No, we're all glad to collaborate in that particular group. We have a lot of great people, a lot of experience. That's not that big a deal.
Right, right. Okay, so if you had to give one good reason why people should come this weekend to see this, what is the thing that you're most proud of at this production?
I am most proud of our interpretation of the original Brown album, the original London cast with all of the rock singers. Most productions kind of go for the movie version or even the more 1990s kind of, I want to say more Broadway versions. Ours is very gritty. Ours, we really strive to sound like the band on that particular album, which coincidentally was Joe Cocker's band, who played with him at Woodstock. Yeah.
Was this the concept album that
Yep,
you're referring
yep.
to? Yeah.
And this
that was
album-
cool too, that it was a concept album before it was
Yep.
even a produced
It's just
show.
an idea.
which
They
is
wanted
so
to make
cool.
some money on a couple of singles.
Yeah.
And they got the best singers they knew at the time, And
So
there you
cool.
go. Yeah, so I would say I'm really proud of that. My band, the 5 core members of the David Tessier All-Star Band of All-Star Stars, I can't say enough about them. This isn't even challenging for them. It's just in their blood.
Right.
And we have a 24-year-old drummer who's been playing this stuff since he was a kid. It's really
Yeah, yeah.
odd. It's odd.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be amazing. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to talk about it.
Thank you so much for having me.
We
Thank
will
you.
have all the information on GoLocalProv.com, ticket information. As we said, 2 shows only, so definitely make a move on that as soon as possible. David, thank you so much. We're going to take another quick pause. I'm going to set up for my next guest, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Local Live. I'm Ava Gaudette, and up next in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I am here with Noah Harley. Hi, Noah.
How you doing, Ava?
Good. You may remember Noah. He was here on the show with his brother. He is one half of, the duo The Horse-Eyed Men, a band. They are hosts of their monthly live radio show that they do. Mm-hmm. You guys do a lot.
We do. We try to stay as busy as possible. Keeps us out of trouble.
Yes, you guys definitely stay busy. And you're here today because you're going to be hosting a benefit concert for Habitat for Humanity. It's going to be at the Columbus Theater. Tell us a little bit about the event and how you guys are involved.
Sure. So we have the distinct pleasure of hosting the house show. I have a poster right here. It's designed by Mark Michelson. It's this Saturday at 7:30. And yeah, John Camille got in touch with us, who's the executive director of Habitat for Humanity, and asked us if we'd like to host the show. And it's in honor of the 31st year of Habitat for Humanity in Rhode Island. And it's at the end of 31 days of giving towards Habitat for Humanity. So it's kind of a way to celebrate the organization's resurgence in Rhode Island and to help it, keep building houses here. So we're pleased to be able to host it. And there's a bunch of acts. There's Verdant Vibes and Geraldine, which is a great kind of Americana act with Mike Samos and Boo City, and then we'll be delivering our dubious talents on stage too. There's a raffle. Dash Bicycles has agreed to donate a bike, so there's some kind of cool.
Oh, like a raffle prize?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
So there's a bunch of cool raffle prizes too, and so I think it'll be a good night. Yeah. Verdant
Vibes was on the show. They were a guest, and they're very cool. Yeah, they're a new music ensemble. Mm-hmm. Really cool, cutting edge. So that's going to be interesting.
And they're related to the Music Mansion.
Yes,
right?
yes, they are.
Yeah, I haven't seen them myself personally, but I'm excited to see them, and I love Geraldine's stuff too. So,
yeah, they're all really different, which I think is cool. It's sort of a little for everyone musically. Yeah. Which is really nice. So you and your brother, obviously, you guys do a lot of this kind of thing with your live radio show as far as hosting. What do you feel is the most important part of your job for an event like this that is a fundraiser? Is it just making sure everyone has a good time? Is it making sure people open their wallets? Like, what do you think is the most
Well, I can
pressing?
tell you what you do is you take out your wallet and you take out $1, or in this case $5.
Okay.
And you keep the $5 in your hand, and then you give the wallet to Habitat for Humanity.
Perfect.
Right? So that's what we're going to be encouraging people to do on Saturday. I mean, I think that for hosting, it's to give the evening a nice flow and to welcome the performers, to make a welcoming environment, and also to help remind people why they're there and why we're at the Columbus to support Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, the Columbus Theater is where you guys do your monthly show. So how did that collaboration happen because of that, or?
I think that we just keep ending up at the Columbus.
They just draw you in.
I think that it's just because the Columbus is doing a really good job of hosting different kinds of events, and it's become this place that they do film screenings there too, and benefits like the house show. And our radio show WHEM too. So, yeah. So it's just one of these things where we're like, oh gosh, we have to go back to the Columbus now, so.
It's sort of like your second home, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, if we can't afford rent, there's always
You can always go to the Columbus. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of off topic, but since I have you here, you guys are celebrating your 1-year annivery of WHEM.
Right. Yeah.
How are you guys celebrating?
Birthday cakes all around.
Yay!
No, we have
We're
That's right. We have we're celebrating with the performers. Really, there's a performer named the Birdman of Rome, who's going to be coming. Who's a pretty legendary street busker from Rome, Italy, and who dresses up as a bird and does all these different bird calls. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's going to be pretty phenomenal. And then we're having Phil Madeira, who's been Emmylou Harris's guitar player for a long time, and he's actually playing the next night also for his CD release party. He's a Rhode Island native. So we're gonna do that. We'll have another installation of Mom's Attic where we raffle off objects from our mother's
Your
attic.
actual mother's attic.
Well, she's thrilled with it.
Is she getting rid of a lot of items?
I can't believe how much stuff I've gotten rid of. Yeah. but she's been threatening that the next several months are going to be like old baseball card collections and DVDs.
Is it sort of like you better get up to take what you want before?
I think that's what the threat is. Yeah. So we'll see. But that's on April 5th. So that's after. It's next week at 8 p.m. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's an exciting one for us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So the Habitat for Humanity concert, obviously it's very cool that you guys are involved, kind of doing what you do, what you have to offer.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be able to help support an organization like that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times, I mean, for me, I also know personally playing in a band, a lot of times bands can just be focused on playing their music and playing their shows, and that's all well and good, but it's really nice. We also did a benefit for a single payer healthcare system in Rhode Island last Saturday, and it's really nice to make music and to integrate it into the actual life of the community, and because music is a social thing and performance is about people, and so it's nice to use that that dubious talent, like I said, and to share it with people, and also to have fun with it, and to kind of meet people where they're at already. So that's why it's meaningful to us to do it. Yeah.
Are you guys going to be playing music as well, or are you going to just
we're gonna
stick to hosting for this?
I think that we may just play some music.
You might get coerced.
If we don't squabble too much. So
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you work with your brother, right?
It's true. Yeah. It's true. He's not here actually, so I really should be talking more about him. But
that's true. I know you're being surprisingly polite, considering he's not here to defend himself. I don't know if he's
watching it or not.
Oh yeah, maybe you'll get it. Well, I also wanted to speak to John Camille, who is the executive director.
Yeah.
You were kind enough to make this introduction, so I would love to have him come on and kind of talk more about organizing this event. So Noah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
we're going to do a quick little swap.
Me.
Yes. Come on out, John.
Okay.
Thank you, Noah.
Yep.
Hi, John.
Hi, April. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
John is the executive director and organizer of this benefit concert. So, tell us a little about how you decided to put this together. This is the first annual.
The first annual, yes.
We can make this.
We're going to make this a legacy.
Yes.
And we have. We're celebrating our 31st year.
Right.
And beginning of the month, we organized an event, 31 Days of Giving for Habitat, and we had quite a few great businesses join in.
Right.
It's an inaugural moment, so we're very happy with who had signed on with us, and the idea at the end was to have this big concert and celebration.
Sure.
And it's really increasing the awareness that a lot of people are concerned about Habitat, and we are here, and we were looking to build again, and this is one of the stepping stones to get us started again.
Right, kind of creating a little bit more awareness, as you said, and more funding.
Yes, absolutely.
In the community.
Yes, indeed.
So part of what's very cool about this event is the contributions from local businesses. I talk a lot about the local artists who contribute to things like this, but there are a lot of local restaurants and local businesses that got involved. What was the outreach like to the community?
Well, I reached out to I have a small business, ALC Copies, that I contacted a lot of my customers, Columbus Theater being one of them.
Yeah.
And they were early on board with helping us out. We had wonderful restaurants joined us, Brick Oven on Main, Ogie's. We've got a big event tonight at Federal Hill Pizza on Chalkstone. Thursday night we have a group at the Hop Club.
Okay.
And then Friday's E&O, and then Saturday's the big wrap-up.
Cool. I like that it was kind of going to each place that contributed and making a little event at their restaurant.
They did, and we had early on we had some businesses, tremendous training. We jumped in and they dog training.
Oh, awesome.
Westside Wellness joined us, so if you needed a massage, you could have been supporting Habitat,
Definitely. So what would it take to get Habitat for Humanity building here again in Providence? What do you think that process would be like?
Well, in the real world, nonprofit, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
We need the funding. We have not had a lot of funding in recent years, and we've gone through some transitions. But we have a very strong board now, and we're always looking to add board members.
Right.
And I think we're moving in the right direction. This is a stepping stone.
Are there particular areas of the city that you know could use the help from
Yeah, there's quite a few, and we actually have 3 empty lots that we would love to build on. So I'm hoping to reach out to some of the bigger businesses in town and some of the universities. And I actually have a meeting tomorrow with the possibility of somebody fully sponsoring a house.
Fantastic.
So we'll see what happens.
That's great. So what are some of the ways that people can contribute if, they can buy a ticket, they can participate in the raffle? What are some other ways that they can contribute?
Well, anytime you can do a donation is great. And when we're building, volunteering.
Yeah.
We have some volunteers that have been with us probably 20 years,
that's
which is
amazing.
amazing. And we couldn't do anything without our volunteers. So once we get building again, we'll be reaching out for all the volunteers we can possibly get.
It is such a cool volunteer experience because when would you ever have the opportunity, unless you do this for a business, to build a home and know that you're going to provide a home for a family in need? I mean, it's such a cool thing.
And then we also, the family that is taking the house is involved in the building also. So
Right.
it's an amazing experience. And then when we wrap up the home and get a family in there, we have a dedication, which is one of the most wonderful events. It reminds everybody of why we do this.
Yeah. Well, it was mentioned on some of the information about this event that there are going to be some people who have benefited from the organization that will be at the event. So that's
we
really...
have a few Habitat families that are going to come, and Noah and Dylan will be doing some interviewings.
Okay, cool.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Because it changes everything. Just
Sure.
having a decent home. If you have family, it settles everything down. You're not changing schools.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, and how nice for the people participating in the event to actually hear from a family how it changes their lives.
We're very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So besides, the obvious, being able to raise some money, what do you hope people are left with after an event like this?
I think that people understand the incredible need we have in the Providence area. And we cover Providence, Pawtucket, and Central Falls, our affiliate. And it's endless. I mean, we could build 10 homes a year and we'd still be behind.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a big need these days.
That is important to know. Some people just... when you're not informed, it's hard to make that extra step to donate and give. Yeah. Well, this event sounds really amazing. Obviously, for a wonderful cause. It's going to be at the Columbus Theater. We will have all the information at golocalprov.com so you can buy your tickets so that you can contribute. John, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for organizing this event.
Well, everybody come on out.
It would be great.
All right.
Well, that was my show for today. John, you can stay right here. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to check out Kate Nagel's Hour at 4 o'clock with news and politics. And I will see you next time.